Welcome.
Welcome to Outstanding Individuals. My name is Cody Lewis. With me, as always, my trusty sidekick.
Sidekick?
That's a Kellan Breen. A sidekick is
the lesser of the two.
I know. I just thought that as I was saying that, which makes...
You know, I do always write Cody and Kellan because, you know, I'm humble.
I don't think
I'm
that's
a humble
true.
king.
Yeah. I don't think that's true, though. You did it... I can't remember what. But,
We're, Batman, Superman. I'm Superman.
yeah. Yeah, I'll be Batman.
Batman's great, though.
Yeah, he's the best. I was watching the newest Batman. Did you see that?
Yeah, so good.
Yeah. Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, I saw it like when it was in theaters.
You saw it twice in theaters.
I generally will only... It's got to be a pretty hype movie for me to go. I'm not a big theater guy. I'm not a big movie guy, as we know, but... That was one of the ones I went, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh, it's so good. I also watched Joker. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that over the pandemic, which was really good.
He's a little, can I say? He's a little gay in that movie. No one
Gay
talks
Joker?
about it. Yeah. He's like dancing, and then there's a part where he's talking to Robert De Niro. He's like, you guys would laugh at me. And he's like, sassy.
He really, I feel like he might be, I mean, everyone likes to say Heath was the best. But, I mean, I feel like what's his name was the most, like, damn, this is kind of realistic.
Yeah, it was. I almost feel like it shouldn't have been a Batman movie. Like, they just shouldn't have made a movie about a crazy dude kind of losing it. Because, like, this is the second time I'm watching the, like, Batman references.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
If
Like,
they were
it's
just
not
like
even called The Joker?
Yeah, it's like just an indie movie about a fucking psychopath who, like, kind of starts this thing against the rich.
Oh, that'd
like
be...
this battle against the rich. But
yeah.
Because, like, the weird stuff about that movie was when it's, like, he sees Bruce Wayne, and he, like, goes and there's Alfred, and then, like, the little, like, Batman references,
Yeah.
I felt like they were unnecessary.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great, but for me, I was like, this could have been an indie film.
You like the newest Batman, though?
So good.
Yeah, so good.
And he's so
Robert
fucking
Pat?
broody and shit.
Robert Pattinson, the legend?
Yeah.
I'm excited for the second one.
Yeah, I'll be sick as hell. So what's going on? What happened? I went on a sober date.
Sober date?
Yeah.
I've heard about this before. You guys went. It went okay, right?
Yeah.
You want to say good or great?
I would say it was better than I thought.
7 out of 10?
Yeah, 7. I'll take a 7.
All right.
Here's the thing. We went to the sober bar. It turned out to be it was like a witch's theme.
Okay.
Pretty much what you'd expect. Like there's like a tarot card reading.
Okay. Did you do it?
No. Because the girl... She seemed very anti that.
She's anti-witch.
Anti-witch, anti-tarot.
Okay.
And so we're like, it was like,
that's
I didn't know
a bit
that
of
at first.
I'm not saying that's a red flag, but if you're there, just fucking do it. Like, who cares?
Right.
It's meaningless.
Yeah, and it's something to laugh about.
Yeah, someone who's like too into witches or not into witches at all, it's like, wait, why do you even hold that opinion?
You got to be middle of the ground.
Yeah, like,
middle
who
of the
cares?
road.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
So you didn't do the
No.
reading, but you
But
guys
then-
just chilled and
Yeah, it was fine, super comfortable. At one point, though, at the end of the day, she looked at me and she's like, "You're pretty weird, aren't you?"
she said that.
Yeah.
What did you say to do that?
I was just being me.
Okay.
And
Was there? If you had to think, what was the weirdest thing I said on the date? Does something come to mind?
I said I like chocolate brown nipples.
Okay, I don't even know what that is.
I opened with like brown nipples, like the long ones.
Okay. How does that even come up? Oh.
I was trying to see what you would.
I legit thought you got blackout or something. Oh no, it was a sober bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be even weirder.
No.
Did you say anything weird?
No, can I tell you? I thought going into a sober date that in my head I was like, oh, because I'm not drunk, it'll be like reveal less of yourself.
Okay.
That's what I thought for whatever reason. But I
Yeah.
almost feel like I was like more of because I was like trying to just be. They didn't have like alcohol to like lube up the
So
conversation.
you were just kind of doing a little bit of what do they call it? Word diarrhea, where you're just like
right,
and this
right
and that
and with alcohol I feel like you say stupid or shit and you don't really think about it. Where here it's like, oh, we have to have like a real conversation, which I think is good. I think ultimately it lets you understand them quicker, and she understood me quicker.
They / them.
That's but
and so. No, okay, no, you you first.
No, so then I was saying, so I don't really know what I said. I think I was just being me, and she's like, oh, you're kind of weird. And I was like, And then I was like, oh, like, that's a good thing, right? Even though I don't know if she meant it. She's like, yeah, it's interesting. Like,
yeah, it's interesting. Oh, no. So there's no second date?
she did text me right after. She said she was going to listen to this, so hopefully she's not listening. But, and she was like, oh, I'm going to come to your, going to show up at the front row at Broadway Comedy Club. And I was like, oh, if
This
you wanna
past
come.
Monday?
Yeah.
Well, she didn't.
Or on Saturday. But she didn't come. But I was like, oh, if you want to come. She was cool. I just feel like I couldn't tell if she liked me. I don't fucking know.
How'd you meet her? Was it Tinder? Hinged. But that's good. I think, you know what? You went on this date.
And the fact I did sober, I was so proud of myself.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be a win right there.
It was a win. I was like, I can do this.
I like that. What was you had a rant you said, I'm already.
Itching your penis?
Yes. What was the rant you said you had? You had this rant.
And it's not a rant. This is something that happens all the time. So
is this your rant, or is this the thing you were going to talk about before?
This is my rant.
All right, you'll see your rant.
Okay.
We're going to do, this is the sometimes segment, rants.
This is, I have some thoughts, and you have to listen to them.
All right, I'm ready to...
Sometimes I'm walking. This is going to be hard to explain, but bear with me. Someone's in front of me with their dog.
This seems pretty easy so far.
They're walking slower than me.
Yep.
And I'm coming in hot. I'm coming in fast. I see
Fast
them with
walker.
their dog. Dog pulls them off to the side to go to the bathroom, sniff something. The person sees me, and instead of seeing me rapidly walking and letting me pass, they try and pull their dog to continue to be in front of me.
Ugh.
And I'm like, you know your dog is going to pull you aside. Anyway, so let me fucking...
Let you go.
And this happens all the time.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm like, why do people... Like, why are they trying to beat me? Especially when it's like at late at night and they're just fucking walking.
Yeah.
Not late at night because they might... But you know what I mean? Do you know
I
what
get
I'm
what you're
talking
saying. That and like a slow walker, just move to the side. Let me go.
Yeah, or
I'm on a mission.
A big group is like taking up a sidewalk. You're like, just fucking...
Yeah, big groups, horrible. My biggest peeve in New York is when they come up from the subway and they'll stand. They go up the subway steps and then they stand in front and they're like, where am I?
Right.
And it's like, just move and then figure out. Because I get that too. I'll sometimes go to a place I'm not really familiar with and I'm like trying to figure out like, oh, which way am I walking?
Yeah. The thing is, we're all guilty of doing shit like that.
Yeah.
But when the other person, you're like, fuck this, blah, blah, blah.
Well, the dog is like, it creates like a thing of rope.
Yeah. And the dog's ruling you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm into that.
Do you like that rant?
I thought it was a good rant. One of your better.
I don't know what to do with that information, but it just happened to me just now. So I was like, oh, you motherfucker.
It happened to you on the way here?
No, but
No.
last 3 months ago, probably.
Okay.
No, it happens enough where I'm like, what's going on here? Is it me?
I don't get I'm all for dogs, but dogs in New York City are a little... I'm just kind of anti-dog in New York City because I'll see people with their dog on the subway, dogs like laying on the subway floor.
Yeah.
Which is filthy. Disgusting. And then I know that dog's going home and jumping on your pillow.
Right.
Now you have fucking AIDS, I think.
That's what happens. That's really gross.
I just can't. I feel like you need a yard.
Yeah, I also, when I had an ex-girlfriend who had a dog here.
Shout out.
And we would have to, we would go out for the day, then we'd have to come back, let the dog out, and then go back. And it's just, such a pain to...
Yeah.
Which, some people are okay with that, but for me, I'm like, this is literally, cutting into my drinking time.
Yeah.
No, okay.
You're out, you're vibing.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I gotta go
But
back.
it's just, an extra thing to have to worry about, which I guess anywhere it's going to be like that, but New York, because you're on the subway, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
I don't want a dog.
But eventually?
Nah.
Did you have dogs growing up?
We had a really good dog until I was 9.
What happened?
10. It just got sick. It was 13. She was 13. Get this. She was sick and my mom was we had to take her to the vet. And my mom said oh, I was like, can we get Taco Bell or something? And
if we're going to put down the dog, we better fucking get Taco Bell.
But I don't remember how it came up. And she's like, well, if we have to put the dog down, we will. But it was a humorous thing. We didn't think we were gonna put the dog down, and then anyway, so we had to put the dog down. We all come back home, and everyone's so sad. And I'm like, Taco Bell time, trying to make a joke, and everyone was so mad at me.
They got mad at you, and
yeah.
you didn't get Taco Bell.
Didn't get Taco Bell.
What the hell? She said if you got
Yeah.
I used to get Wendy's every time I went to the dentist. That was the best.
Yeah, I used to do Monday Shake Day.
Monday Shake Day?
Yeah, we were sad on Mondays because it fucking sucks. So Mom's like, we'll get milkshakes on that day.
Damn.
It's the best.
Dude, ice cream is the best.
So thick and shit.
So did you cry within your dog?
No, dude, no.
It was just so old you were like kind of saw it coming.
I mean, I love that dog, but I just never, for like the longest time, people don't like this about me. I didn't really like animals at all.
Wow.
Until we
Red
had
flag,
right,
ladies.
Right.
What about hamsters?
Fuck hamsters, dude.
I completely
I'll
agree.
squeeze
If you have a hamster, what are you doing?
Imagine if you went over to a girl's house and she had a hamster as an adult.
Huge red. If you're an adult and you have a hamster, huge red flag.
Yeah, fuck that.
That's horrible.
Would you still bang her?
Well, that's that Mark Norman joke. Shout out. He's like a woman goes home with a guy and he has like Nazi memorabilia. She's like, I gotta get out of here. Guy goes home with a woman and he sees that she has Nazi memorabilia and he's like, I gotta fuck this girl, then get out of here.
Right. That's so funny.
So probably the same with a hamster. I think that's the hamster and Nazi memorabilia.
Yeah, it's same.
But a hamster just a smell. Like it's just a smelly thing. I don't think
Is
it's
it
adding.
smelly,
Oh my god, my friend growing up had one and it like reeked.
Oh really?
Yeah, it pisses and pees everywhere.
It's a rodent, I guess. Right?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Anytime someone has like an animal that doesn't acknowledge your existence, I'm like
a snake.
Yeah, I'm like, what's the fun in this?
Snake's easily the top worst pet.
Can I tell you something? This is also, I don't know if my mom or parents like being crazy, but we had a pet snake.
No way.
Yeah.
How big?
It was like a little green one. It was very cute.
How big? A foot?
I don't remember. Probably
2 feet?
Probably a foot or two.
Okay.
How big are snakes? I don't know. It was longer than a worm. It was definitely longer than a worm.
Okay, longer than a worm. That I assume that.
Well, it wasn't I just want you to know it wasn't a worm.
Okay.
Side note, have you ever seen a legless lizard?
No.
Very weird. Because you would think it looks like a snake.
Is it a type of species or is it just like a lizard without legs?
I don't know if it's a snake or a lizard, but it's called a legless lizard.
But it has no legs.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like a snake. It looks like a lizard with no legs. It's insane.
We'll have to circle back on this.
Yeah, okay. So we had this snake, and we would feed it crickets.
Oh,
right?
So gross.
Yeah, you just fucking
my
plop
opinion of
them
you
in.
have gone down.
But you're supposed to feed the crickets
What do you feed the crickets?
cricket food. I don't fucking know.
That's crazy. Do crickets eat grass?
I don't. This is where the story I need to do some.
This
Google
is where the lie unfolds.
No, this is where I don't know if my parents knew what they were talking about. We didn't feed the crickets, so then the crickets ate the snake.
No, they did.
Yeah,
Crickets can't eat a snake.
They did.
Crickets are so small. Snakes are ferocious.
Yeah, but there's a lot of them.
Snakes are ferocious and evil.
Yeah, but this snake was cute, and there was a lot of crickets, and they were hungry.
That's insane.
So I remember like seeing its rib cage or whatever
Dude, good for the crickets. I hate snakes. All crickets should be eating snakes.
Yeah. Crickets are also my uncle when I was little told me, he's like, crickets will wrap their little antenna around you and they won't let go. So I was like, thought crickets were evil.
Crickets are probably evil. Your uncle was right about that.
What about potato bugs?
I don't even know what that is.
It's a type of
legless
cricket.
lizards, potato bugs. I think you're just fucking with me. I honestly, this is a genuine, maybe one of my bigger red flags is a snake. Like if Becca, shout out Becca, my girlfriend, if I went to her apartment the first time, like within the few first times that we had started dating, and she had like a big snake, it would have been like she's up here, now it's like boom.
Really?
It's up with like, telling me, remember you telling me about that date you went on and she was like started like just saying too much about like her trauma.
Yeah.
It's kind of like up there with that where I'm like, oh no, it might be worse because I'm like, well, I can never sleep here.
Right.
And I know the snake's touching her. Gross.
That's an ick for you.
It's like, I'm like, okay, well, this is horrible.
You've always hated snakes?
Always hated snakes. And I don't even understand. And you always see the stories where like woman who had pet snake for 15 years, the snake killed her in the middle of the night. Crazy, right?
Is that a story?
That's not crazy.
I've never heard that story ever.
It's the classic story of like person has exotic animal and it kills them.
You're thinking of a lion.
Well, lion, monkey, snake, they have these like giant animals, and then like in the middle of the night, the lion or snake or monkey's like, wait a second, I'm gonna kill this bitch. And then it does it, and then everyone's like, isn't this so sad? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
They should have never had this.
You see the video of the girl who raised a panther and it's like playing with the dog?
I can't deal with those.
Yeah. Anytime you see like those videos of those like guys like with tigers, I'm like, this tiger will turn on you.
It's
not an
going to.
accident. It's not sometimes.
Yeah, it's gonna just swipe.
Yeah. It's just playful and your head's gone.
Boom.
Bam. That's it.
Boom, bam. But snakes, they could have a panther that would be less alarming to me. Maybe not.
That'd
Any
be
kind of
pretty
exotic
sick.
animal. I think that's my big red flag.
That's not that big of a red flag.
It's my
So it's
ick.
pretty good. The ick. I was trying to make a joke about this. This is not the joke that bombed.
Oh, bonus joke that bombed. Or have you not done it on stage yet?
The premise gets a laugh where this. I read this on Reddit, but I'm making it seem like it's my friend.
Oh, just remind me. I have another joke about. I have a joke about exotic animals, but you go first.
Okay, but the ick was this girl said she got the ick from watching a dude They were playing beer pong and watching a dude chase a ping pong ball.
Yeah.
And that's so funny, and even that idea gets a laugh.
I kind of understand that though.
Yeah, 100%. But I don't really know where the jokes are in there. But it's just like a funny image, and I feel like there's an opportunity for an act out.
There's this comic, I think his name's like Alec Drag. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He has a joke I just saw on Instagram where he was talking about like how women are talking about how they have all these icks.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't even, he's like, I don't have anything like that. Like a woman could come home and like shit on my floor and I'd be like, I guess that's strike one. I don't.
That's funny.
It's very funny. I don't know him personally, but I think every clip I've seen of him, he seems very funny.
Yeah.
My joke about exotic animals, I had this premise. I never really like wrote on it more, but whenever I see someone who has like an exotic animal, or when like those people will go like into the Congo or they'll go like into the wild and they meet an animal that they kind of raised.
Jungle Book?
No, but they raised like a bear.
Yeah.
They get a baby bear, they raise it, and eventually they're like, I gotta let this bear go in the wild.
Right.
And then you'll see them, they'll go into the wild and the bear and him are like embracing each other and having a great time. That always makes me feel so bad about like my poor relationship with people. I'm like, this guy is making time to go see a grizzly bear. I can't call my grandmother. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
Yeah. I never did. I did have like one mic and it didn't do great, but I'm always like, whenever I see those, I'm like, I should probably call.
Yeah, that's very
funny. I should call my
funny.
uncle. I should call my grandma. This guy is literally risking his life to get mauled by a grizzly bear.
Yeah.
Also, there's no way he knows it's that grizzly bear.
Also, yeah. I'm like, how these things are so big. They're just going to chop your head off. That's what I worry about.
Yeah, especially a bear. I have another joke about a bear. Let me just say, this is like a surprise jokes that didn't work segment. Like this is gonna be.
Do you ever think when we're doing jokes that don't work, they're like, "Why are you telling us? Why are you telling us these?"
I think
jokes?
people like it. What's his name? Shout out. I'm taking off my socks. I'm sweating a little. Shout out Casey Ma, who is someone I don't know personally, but he has always really enjoyed Becca and my videos, and he last episode he DM'd me. He's like, "Oh, you should try this for that joke that didn't work." So I think he liked it.
Yeah.
Granted, he is a very nice person and he likes all my content. So he's like, but
we do it for the fans.
we do it for the fans.
Okay.
I have one.
What's your bonus joke?
My bonus joke is I recently read that bears. I tried this like a year ago and I tried it many times and I just couldn't figure it out. But I recently read that bears can climb faster than they run.
No,
let me just finish. You're doing what people do in the audience. After the premise, they go, no. Or, I don't get it.
Yeah.
No, they can climb faster than they run. But my question to that is, did the bear know he was being timed? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the bear, like you're timing a bear running, and then you're timing a bear climbing, but you don't know you don't know that that's their max speed.
Right.
So how can you even make up a fact about like a bear's?
That's a good point.
The bear could be taking, he's going for a jog, and you're like, okay, that was his top speed.
Yeah.
Let's time it with the climb.
Yeah.
And then he climbs, and you're like, holy shit.
Climbing might be his favorite thing.
Yeah.
So he's really into it.
The premise, I always, like, when I first thought that joke, I'm like, oh, I'm going to say the premise, and they're going to, like, erupt.
Yeah.
And then I said the premise, and they're like,
what?
And I'm like, okay, let me, and then I could never.
Maybe, though, that because is it bears?
Yes.
Just because I think there's no way that's possible. Like, just
Have you seen a bear climb? The thing is,
nothing climbs.
No, because
fast.
the bear has claws and it's like it's propelling itself up. Bears climb so fast. It's like
I can't believe this.
No, if
then
you
a runner,
look
then
up,
running.
Look up a video of a bear climbing, and I don't know if it's believable, but you're like it is climbing very fast,
right?
Because it's like it's ripping into the tree and it's like throwing itself up.
Okay, so then that's for like 10 seconds, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying
because trees aren't very
10
long.
Seconds. Yeah. That's true.
You ever think about that? Put that in your joke. Just say trees
It
are
never
very
worked.
long.
But I still think it's a good joke.
Yeah. Don't. No, it's pretty good.
All right, should we just jump into jokes that didn't work?
Yeah, I mean, this is not really a joke. Work is just a bomb story. Actually, so I went and did a show last week at a smoke shop.
Smoke shop. Okay.
Everyone was just getting high in the basement, and there's
How many people?
2 audience members.
Amazing.
A man selling weed with a table.
Amazing.
Selling his weed
In the smoke shop, he's doing his own selling.
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
No, it was so it wasn't a smoke shop. There was a barber shop with the bar in the barber shop. This is crazy. Downstairs they had a room.
And he's doing a little smoke selling.
Yeah, but everyone's like high, and that's part of the fun. You can be high.
Okay.
So him, the photographer, and then the girl who owns the place.
Okay.
So that was the whole audience, and then some comics.
I'm always so amazed when someone who runs the show hires a photographer and there's like 3 people
Yeah.
in the audience. I'm like, you want to document this?
Dude, fucking yeah, and some guy. This is a side note, but we did a show the other day, and we got a photographer, and he took pictures all night, and then sent us like 5 photos. And we're like, where the fuck did the rest of these photos go?
Who is it? It's not your usual guy.
No, it's a different guy. He was very nice, but then it was just like. Also, the whole there's a phase for a while where every indie show was doing photos.
Yeah.
Literally every show you go and do headshots, and that time's over. Because you're like, who really cares?
That's sometimes I'll see a comic like doing so many like headshots.
Yeah.
Like they'll just be constantly like Instagramming their headshots, and I'm like, what are you doing these headshots for?
Yeah,
You've done 5 headshots in the past month.
Yeah.
How many mics have you done? How many shows have you done? What are you doing?
But it's even like your followers, they see you do one headshot, they're like, yeah, and then who gives a fuck?
No,
every time you post a headshot.
I think it's just for the people back home. You're like,
Yeah.
look at me, I'm hot shit. I'm doing headshots.
Right. That
like,
is part of it.
The average person at home, like the ex-boyfriend at home, is like, oh man, she's really killing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, she's not.
Yeah, she's fucking.
She's an idiot.
She's a woman comic.
She's paying hundreds of dollars on these headshots.
Yeah, I was kidding about women. You know, I love my.
We love women.
Anyway,
Shout out women.
I said that and I watched how I bombed so hard the other night. But so I get up there. Show was, 2 audience members. Tough show.
Tough.
But I'm doing okay. I get up there, I start doing okay.
Yeah.
And to one of the 2 audience members, I was like, "Hey, you're laughing." And he's like, "Oh no, man, I'm not laughing with you, I'm laughing at you."
Amazing.
And I was like,
amazing.
I was like, that's fucked up. Like, why did you say that?
You didn't have to say that.
Yeah.
Sir.
And I was like, but it was like kind of fun. And then I do my other joke, my Nazi grammar joke, which shout out, best joke ever. No one likes it, but I love it. And he's laughing, and I'm like, "Ha, you like that joke?" And he's like, Yeah. I like bad jokes.
Oh my gosh. Were you like, dude, are you the meanest guy ever?
I was like, there's a point when I will fight you. Like, I know I'm a comedian, but I will come after you or something like stupid. But it was like funny. Like he was just high, and but it was still like, I'm like, dude, why the fuck? Yeah. Especially because no one was doing well up to that point, and I finally get up there and they're laughing, and I'm like, even if you're laughing at me,
yeah, still getting laughs.
Yeah, I'm still, and you're for the first time having fun at this show.
I've also found that if I'm doing well, or if, like, let's say I go up and I'm not doing great, but like I'm getting there's like a group of people, maybe even one person that's laughing really hard, and they're like enjoying my jokes, but like I'm not doing so great with the rest of the audience. If I point out, I go, I fucking thank you. This guy is really, thank God you came here. He will now kind of go into a turtle shell.
Really?
He's not going to laugh as much.
You do that all the time.
I know. And I realized that the other day. I said it. Some guy was like really laughing. I'm like, thank God fucking this guy's here. That gets a laugh.
Right.
By the other audience. But then he won't laugh as hard.
That makes sense, though.
Because I'm kind of like, I almost like I'm drawing the attention to this guy. Like, everyone hears him, right?
Yeah, no, because audience members are terrified of being the center of attention.
So
that's because I do that sometimes too.
Sometimes I'll do it just because like I'm bombing, but like, and I'm like, I gotta get a laugh.
Yeah,
so I say that, it gets a laugh.
Right.
But now I'm kind of like, maybe I'm sacrificing a little bit of his laughs to maybe get this audience on my side.
Yeah, but then you don't. I mean, that's not one of those jokes that'll
always work.
Or it won't like bring them with you necessarily. Yeah, it's one of those bomb jokes are like, they get the laugh, but it's not like they're like any more on your side.
That's like when I'll say to an audience that I'm not doing well with, is this a non-English speaking crowd?
That's very funny.
Gets a great laugh.
Yeah. I think that's a joke that would.
But I think sometimes after that, they're a little on my side.
Yeah, I think so. I get it. Just depends, I guess. Because I have some bomb jokes like that where I say like my first joke and doesn't do well. I'm like, that was my best joke.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of gets them like, even though I've been told not to do that, but I feel like it gets them like, okay, well he's self-aware and he's fun. He's zany.
This guy's
I've been
zany.
describing myself as zany way too often, and I don't think I'm zany.
If someone says zany too much, I'm not really thrilled about that. That's a red flag.
Would you consider me zany?
No. I think zany is pretty synonymous with annoying.
Really?
Like if someone's zany, like he's a little zany. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna like them.
Oh, okay.
Like if you're about to meet someone, and they're like, hey, so what's your friend like? And they're like, oh, he's pretty zany. You'd be like,
now
I just remembered I got something to do.
I don't also feel like now that I'm saying this, I don't think people use that word to describe people.
Also, big red flag if you're using the word zany. So then, like, that's a double
yeah,
whammy.
Zany's just out. I've been using zany a lot. I think I use it on that date.
Oh no,
she's like you're weird. I'm like, you mean zany?
You mean zany? You mean I have a big penis? She's like, no.
So that's
All right, so you bombed on this show. I did a bar show the other day. Speaking of like indie bar shows, but I did pretty well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was sitting there. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna do well. And then the first guy was like doing well, and I was like, oh shit. So then I went up after him. Like the first 2 minutes were not great, but then I think I ended up doing like 10 minutes. Then next 8, I was like killing.
Oh, nice.
And
was it to
the point where I was getting off stage and people were like, everyone was throwing up the fist,
that's
and I was just like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then the guy who went first was like, dude, that was amazing. He's like, why don't I know you? And I was like, he's like, you don't really hang out a lot, right? And I was like, no. He's like, well, that's why.
Have you been
he's
to
like,
Broadway comedy?
He's like, you need to hang out. And I was like, yeah.
Who was it?
This guy Steve, black guy. I don't really.
Steve, a black guy told you were cool?
Yeah, that was fucking highlight.
Yeah,
highlight
you
of the
quit
year.
comedy after that.
And I was like, damn. He was really nice guy, and he was like, hey, I run some shows. If you ever want to be on some shows, I never DM'd them because I'm.
You got a DM.
I know I should, but yeah, it was nice.
One time, a black guy came up to me after a show at Broadway and was like, "Yo, man, you saved the show." And I was like, "Oh my god!" I started.
You just saved my life. I was gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
But that was so cool. I can't.
He was like, "Shit, you white boys."
Okay.
Yeah, that's how he
did
sounded.
He actually say that?
That save the show. Yeah.
I had someone one time tell me, I don't know how we were talking about interracial dating, and they were like, "I could see you." They said to me, I could see you, Kellan, with like a black woman, and I was like, that was the best compliment I've ever gotten.
like with like
no, just like dating a black woman.
Oh yeah,
like, thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have a joke now about banging a black girl.
Shout out.
Well, because this actually happened with an Asian girl. Maybe I told you this, where she stopped me like right before we.
How long ago was this?
This was like it was a while ago. It was like 2020. But we started hooking up and like making out, and she stopped me. She's like, "Oh, I've never been with a white guy before."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, that's now a lot of pressure to like have sex with someone on behalf of an entire race."
Yeah.
And then, but now I say, and I'll tell you now, she'll never do it again, and that gets a big laugh. But I'm like, I'm always like shitting on myself.
Yeah.
And it's like another like shit on myself joke that I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep this.
Do you think there's too much? I don't know if I know what's like a great self-deprecating comic.
Joe List, I think.
Yeah, but he's doing. Maybe I should like. I've watched so many of his specials, but I wonder if he does something where he doesn't do too much of it in a row.
Yeah. Well, he also does like this is something that happens to me a lot. Is he self-deprecating, but you don't ever feel sad for him.
Yeah.
You're never like, oh, poor Joe. You're just like, oh, this is funny. Where for me, sometimes I get up there and I'm like, and by the end, the audience is like, oh, this poor guy, and I'm like, no, I'm just trying to be funny.
Yeah. This is prepared material.
Yeah,
that I'm embellishing.
Right. And if I have too many things where I'm like I know I'm not the best at sex, but I'm like, I do fine, you know? But then all these jokes, if I have a bunch of jokes, I'll be mad at sex. I'm like, oh, this fucking slept. Is that a word?
Slept?
Schlep?
Oh,
Brock,
schlep, yeah.
Who he doesn't know how to please a woman. I'm like, I've had one girl come once.
She did.
She went,
So that means she can't. That's a telltale sign, that noise.
She's like, I'll be back for round 2.
She said that during?
During, as she's coming.
Like, you're going to get her. This is getting you around 2.
She's like, return customer. Okay. That'd be sick
I'm
as hell.
sweating.
Yeah.
I got to take this off.
It's hot pod, dude. Okay.
What's our next?
Okay. I just want to read you this and see your reaction because I thought it was fucking insane.
This is the.
So
preface. What is it?
This was a a guy wrote this on Reddit like a few years ago.
Shout out Reddit.
But it like the last 2 months ago like kind of went viral because it's so gnarly.
Okay.
So
It's like an ask for advice type thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready. Me and the viewers are ready.
My wife has a terminal illness. She is projected to live at most 9 months. I am, of course, just short. We've been together for a decade. I don't remember life without her, and I don't know what I'm going to do when she's gone. I've been doing blah, blah, blah. The doctor said that she is likely to need a wheelchair in 4 or 5 months, and by month 8, she'll be bedridden for the last few weeks if she doesn't decline faster. Anyway, backstory. He said, recently she sat me down and told me that one of the last things she wanted to do was have sex with a previous partner of hers.
Oh!
I, of course, was shocked, and when I asked why the fuck she wants that, she basically thinks her most physical, compatible, satisfying lover was him. She gave a whole monologue about how sex sometimes is just physical and how emotional, fulfilling sex is with me, but it was bullshit to get to that point. So now, basically, the guy, she has to fuck.
So let's just recap. Guy's wife's dying. She's terminal. Doctor's like, you don't have much longer. Wife goes to guy and is like, hey, I want to sleep with my ex. We had great sex.
Yeah.
And now he's like, what do I do?
Yeah. Is that not sickening?
Let me just say, if it were me, I think you have to let them.
No.
But you say, look, you got it. You can do it. Go for it. This is your life. However, this is like, this is like the worst thing you could say. The thing, what you're doing to me is like, this is brutal.
Yeah.
Not only are you dying, which is a horrible thing, and like when you're dead, you can't regret being dead, but I'm going to be like so sad that you're dying. But now you're fucking, B-Rad. B-Rad, the gym trainer? Are you serious? So you're destroying my like confidence.
Yeah, right. And now that like spoils the whole relationship up. For now, every time he thinks about her.
I would just be honest and be like, to be honest with you, go for it if you want to, but my memory of you is going to be vast. Like I'm just being completely honest. Like you're kind of just like, you're helping me get over you, you bitch.
Yeah.
We'll cut that.
Everyone on the comments were like, yeah, let her do it, but then let him, the gym trainer, take care of her when she's in her fucking wheelchair. Like,
honestly, another good point. I might say, yeah, go for it, but we're done.
Yeah, it's horrible.
We're totally done.
Yeah. But then, dude, it's so gnarly.
Also, terminally ill people like occasionally get better. Like it's just like sometimes happen. Like you always hear like, oh, doctor said I had a month left. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah, right.
I always see like those posts. So it's like, well,
what if she's like, it just?
I also might be thinking, real quick, this is a farce.
Yeah,
she's faking this.
Right.
She hired some doctor just to fuck her ex. I promise you, if this was a guy, if this was a woman writing this, and she said, my husband's terminally ill, the doctor said he has 3 months left. He came to me and said, hey, can I have sex with my ex? Not only would everyone be against it in the comments, but there would be some comments being like, he's making this up.
Right.
This fucking snake oil salesman's making this shit up. Your husband's a dickhead.
Yeah. Everyone would be furious about it.
Absolutely furious.
I mean, I think I'm pretty furious.
What would you do? What would you say?
I would say no, and then she would do it, and then she'd be like, I miss you, and then I'd come back like, yeah, I miss you. Because I'm a cuck. That's my point.
All right, so you are...
I would say no, I don't think... I would say fuck you. That's crazy. I don't care if she's dying.
I mean, I would just say, look, that's kind of up to you, but just know if you do this... First of all, asking is... Even if you don't do this, it's not great you ask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We're not in a good situation right
I
now.
think I would hit her, honestly.
Okay.
Would you not hit her at that point? Would you not hit her?
I
would never hit a woman.
I can't be hitting women.
I'm not saying with my fist, with like a bat or something.
Okay.
Okay, I wouldn't hit her. I love women. But would that not be a time to like a little slap, a little backhand?
Well, if a man said that to a woman and a woman slapped the man, I would say, well, that man deserved that slap.
Can we cut that?
We'll cut that.
Oh,
and the C word. We got to cut the C word. I don't think you can. Joe List said the C word in his special, and he said it totally fucked them.
Oh, really?
Monetization.
We'll mark the time so you don't have to 35.
Oh, yeah.
Also, did you see this video where it's one of those like man on the street videos, and they're like, goes up to a couple and they're like, oh, if you could have sex with who's your celebrity hall pass, and the guy's like, oh, Cameron Diaz or whatever, and the girl's like, my ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then, did you see that video?
There's a
It's so fucked.
there's a viral video that went around maybe a year ago where that happened.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
I know the ex.
Are you kidding?
No, because that video was going viral, and someone texted in the group like, "Oh my god, have you guys seen this video? This is brutal." And then my other friend goes, "Yo, that girl's ex is Matt, like who we hung out with at like he went to my friend's bachelor party.
Oh,
he's like, you know Matt that we saw like all weekend, like." And then I texted Matt. I was like, "Dude, is this you?" He's like, "Yeah, LOL." And then he sent me the conversation he had with that girl, and she was basically like, "Yeah, I didn't like think that was gonna blow up, but you know you're always the one."
Oh my god! If the boyfriend's still with her after that,
they kind of that video misled people a little because
good.
guy and that girl were not dating.
What?
No, the video completely misled.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That makes me feel so much better.
Yeah. So, but yeah, shout out Matt. Fucking, I guess he's got a horse cock.
Oh, Matt, you and your big horse cock. Okay.
All right, so
I just wanted to see how you react to that.
That Reddit, I think I answered that pretty good.
Yeah, I accidentally said I'd beat a woman, but
we're gonna cut that. All right, let's do life hack.
I'm out.
No, you're not.
Okay.
Joke that didn't work. We already did joke that didn't work. Life hack. Okay, this is actually shout out Adam Glynn, comic, really nice guy.
Do I know him?
I think you do. He used to come to Broadway, and he would do like late night. He was kind of like I think he used to work for like TMZ.
Is he black?
No.
Oh.
But he used to have a joke where he was getting jumped, and he couldn't figure out, or he has a joke where he was getting jumped, and he couldn't figure out what to say.
Jump.
Like a bunch of people were beating him up, so he just yelled, "I'm pregnant," which is very funny. But I think that's actually a good idea. My life hack is if you're getting jumped, yell, "I'm pregnant." They might stop.
They might, but if you're a woman.
Yeah, but nowadays it's like, oh,
they don't.
Man,
anyone doing jumping doesn't care about that.
It might help though. I'm just saying. You're getting jumped. You're getting overpowered. What can you do?
Right.
Yell, "I'm pregnant." It might help. It also might, an onlooker. They're not gonna see some person getting jumped. That person yells, "I'm pregnant." They might help now.
Yeah.
Also, they're not gonna be like, "Wait, no, that's a man." No, they're not.
Right.
They're they might run up. So you just yell, "I'm pregnant." You're getting jumped. Yell, "I'm pregnant."
Would you go help someone being beaten?
I would be more inclined to if they said they were pregnant.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to save the baby. I'm pro baby.
I think that would never work in a million years.
What do you yell if you're getting jumped? That's gonna help you. Help! Help! That doesn't. They don't give people ongoers are like, fuck that guy.
Yeah,
he might deserve it.
I think you're just fucked. I don't think anything you say is gonna change anyone's mind.
"I'm pregnant," I think is a Hail Mary, yes, but it might work.
Well, I know. Watch that be in my head next time I get jumped.
If you get jumped, yell, "I'm pregnant."
I'm pregnant. They might start laughing.
Which might stop them
to
beat you up.
Like, this fool's funny.
Whoa. We'll cut that. All right, your life hack.
Okay. When you're shaving your pubis mound, a.k.a.
I've never heard it described like that.
Pubis mound?
I don't think I have.
That's what it's called.
All right.
I don't know if it's called that with women.
Okay.
Must be with men, too. It's the same.
This is just for women?
No, it's when you're shaving your pubes.
Okay.
I just wanted to use the scientific term for our
shaving your
smart
pubes.
listeners. You sit on the toilet backwards. All the hair...
Is anyone shaving their pubes?
On the toilet?
I go shower.
Yeah, but what if you...
So you want to... I got to reverse cowgirl the toilet when I'm shaving my pubes.
Yeah.
And they fall into the toilet.
Yeah. How good is that?
It's, I don't think it's good at all. Just go... I think 90% of people are shower. 99 are in the shower.
As I said that, I was wondering why. Maybe your showers... You're trying to save time?
I do it in the shower before the shower's on.
Do you shave?
Yeah. And then I'll just clean it up and then, throw out the pubes and then turn the shower on.
Yeah. Do you shave your balls?
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Depends.
Ball shaving.
Is it Martin Luther King Day? Yes.
Columbus Day?
Is it Columbus Day? No.
Yeah.
St. Patty's Day? Yes.
Yeah, of course.
No, it's not your worst, but it's just, no one's going to ever do that.
It's a good image, though. Have you ever heard of
it's
spider?
Funny.
Fuck, I don't remember if I told the story. You know spider swing when you're little?
Spider swing?
You're on the swing, your friend straddles you, so then you both can swing.
I've never done that.
You never did that growing up?
No.
Okay. Pretty cool.
Okay.
So get this. Take that mentality to the toilet. You're on the toilet. Someone straddles you. You both use the toilet at the same time.
What's that called?
Spider pooping or spider peeing.
Yeah. I can't imagine. That's worse than your life hack. I can't imagine. There are some people who are in, a blumpkin. You know what a blumpkin is?
Is that the
Blowjob while pooping.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine being like that. Has got to be brutal to be into that. Because first of all, being into that's brutal, and because now you got to find a partner who's into it. That's like
and then
it's like 1 in a million.
Right. But if you're into that, then because I'm like, I would be disgusted by her, but
it's making me gag.
Yeah. But anyway, the spider peeing, spider pooping. My friend and I in college always talked about it, just like as a joke, not doing it, just like, imagine if this happened.
Yeah.
And then one day he was hammered and he called me. He's like, guess what I just did? And
With a woman?
Yeah. He was like drunk in line for the bathroom and he like pitched the idea, so they fucking did it.
Oh my God. Is he a very handsome man?
Yeah, he's handsome.
All right, that helps. If an ugly guy's like goes up to a woman, he's like, "Hey, why don't while I'm pissing, you fucking also piss, but you're like on top of me." She's gonna be like, "No." And also, you're arrested. I'm calling the police. You're gonna get arrested.
Yeah, you're right. He has very pretty eyes.
So
shout out Clay.
That helps.
I
bet he's handsome, and I bet the woman was not beautiful. I think that's the only way that works.
Yeah, true.
All right, let's do our mystery because we're 41 minutes in. We're cooking.
Yeah.
I think this is a great episode, and I think the last episode was just average. I think if we have an average episode, put the alert on the phone. The next episode's going to be fucking hot as hell.
Yeah. You can even skip the average episode.
Yeah, we bring it. All right. Mystery segment is, we've been doing top threes. It's been great. People are loving it, I think. We don't know.
No one cares.
This is top 3 conspiracy theories you personally believe in. We tried to not go too mainstream. All right. You always go first. Why don't I go first?
You go first. See how it feels.
I think in New York, there's a lot of stores that sell strictly I Love New York merch.
Yeah.
I think those are money laundering schemes. Because who the fuck is buying that? No, I've never seen anyone, not even like tourists really, buy those shirts. There's no way they're making enough money to pay rent in New York City.
Yeah.
I think they're money laundering.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
2 things.
Well, what, 2 or 1?
I'm going 2.
Okay.
First of all, there's a I Love New York store in, what's it down by the World Trade Center? The underground mall? What's that called?
Zero idea.
I can't remember. It has like a spine.
Okay.
Anyway, it's a mall underground down in Fidei. There's a I Love New York store that's massive.
Yeah.
It is so big. And my brother and I went in there, and there was no one in there, and it's honestly so creepy. I was like, this is fucking bizarre.
Yeah, it's
anyway,
money laundering.
But that being said, I think that's something that a lot of people buy because they buy it for people back home.
Do you know how expensive rent has got to be, especially a giant store like that near the World Trade Center?
Right.
Dude, it's got to be like upwards of like $50,000 a month or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know money, but
it's got to be so much. There's just no way they're turning a profit.
So what do you think, that it's a chain and it's some fucking mobster?
I think some mobsters are, just money laundering that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've heard very similar things with mattress stores. How there's like this mattress store theory that like, especially like if apparently a lot of mattress stores are near other mattress stores, which is kind of like impractical. It's not, they're like, wait, why is this a thing? And they say, oh, it's money laundering. So I think that I Love New York stores. I've never seen. If I see someone with a shirt like that, I'm almost like, hey, check. Do you see that shit? Yeah. I'll like say to the person with me, I'm like, hey, look, that person has the I Love New York shirt on. No one wears those. Right. So I think it's money laundering.
Okay, that's fair.
Do you like that one?
Yeah, I don't mind that one.
All right.
I wish I had some proof that you're wrong, but I don't.
All right.
Mine. This one I'm afraid to say.
Okay.
Online because they'll take me out that I figure this out.
Enough people are listening.
This is also my own theory.
Okay.
I was once at I worked at a place, outdoor seating during COVID. Every day, homeless people coming in. Okay. Asking for money. Okay. Constant battle. Hey, you can't ask for money. They would leave. I think I talked about how one lady tried to stab the manager. Yeah. And we would see the same homeless people every day. Then one day, all of them were gone. Okay. Never saw them again. Okay. Here's the thing. I think it was a roundup. I think they round them up in the middle of the night.
And what'd they do?
They fucking took them out in the field.
And shot them?
And shot them.
It could have been. It could have been a shooting. It also could have been like they bought them. Weren't some states like sending them to other states?
Yeah, right. This was before that.
It could have been that.
Or also there could have been like a shelter that shut down.
And then they moved?
Yeah, but it was just I don't know if they really killed him, but it was fucking bizarre as shit. I was like, this is crazy that all of a sudden this isn't a problem. And it was like really like 3 or 4 times a shift.
I bet there's some shady stuff going on with homeless people if it's getting out of hand in each state.
Yeah. There's got to be something going on.
Yeah.
Because like what, I mean, like if you look in San Francisco, I guess it's horrible right now. But a lot of states don't deal with that shit, and there aren't a lot of homeless people. So like, what are they doing?
Yeah. All right. It's okay. It's not really, is that a conspiracy theory? Or is that just something weird that happened to you?
I think I guess the conspiracy is that they're doing roundups.
Government's doing roundups on homeless.
Yeah.
All right, it's okay.
Cut that. So I don't want them to hear that.
No, it's fine. I honestly, I pretty much believe that Beyonce, her first pregnancy was fake. Have you seen that video?
No.
I think it was fake.
Why?
I went on a deep dive last night, and there's like a video of her like on Ellen or something, and she sits. She's got like the belly, and when she sits, it like kind of collapses on herself.
Oh.
And then I was like, well, why would she fake her pregnancy? And then the woman in the video, who was very convincing, was like, I bet Jay-Z got another woman pregnant, and then rather deal with that whole scandal of like them raising another woman's of Beyonce raising another woman's baby. They just pretended Beyonce was pregnant.
Oh.
Blue Ivy, not actually theirs.
Oh.
And then apparently there was some like, she did an interview and she was like, oh, I'm 4 months along. And then she did like an interview like a month later and she's like, I'm 6 months along.
Oh.
So I think she probably.
Can you imagine Beyonce's your wife and you cheat on Beyonce?
Yeah. It's pretty
Insane.
crazy. He cheated. It's known that he cheated once, right?
I don't.
What did that woman look
lemonade like? Yeah. And does it say something about how you just get bored with no matter who you're with?
Yeah, my uncle knows a guy who used to date Kate Beckinsale. I think he was married to Kate Beckinsale.
Very hot.
And he said she was nuts. So they
Checks
eventually divorced. But I mean, that's
the hottest woman.
She's very
ever.
hot, and that guy was like, I can't do this anymore.
Right.
She's nuts.
Yeah. That's insane. Okay, I like that one.
Yeah, I think Beyonce. The video is very compelling. Check it out. It looks like a very fake bump, and I think there is some motive.
Yeah.
I think Jay-Z was fucking pimping around.
Probably.
He was, banging some people, and then they got pregnant. Boom.
It's like in Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones, when you have a bastard child.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. I think that was a good one.
That was good. You're gonna hate this next one. This one I don't believe in, but I think it's pretty funny.
Okay. Is this like another thing personally? Are you like, my roommate's eating my peanut butter? And, that's a good, I need her to stop.
Do you know about Paul is Dead?
No.
The Beatles.
Yes, okay. You don't think he's dead?
No, well, there was this whole thing. This is just a theory that was crazy that it happened. People were convinced that Paul, what's his last name? McCartney.
Yeah.
Died in a car accident. And then they found all these signs that pointed that they had replaced him with an imposter.
Okay.
And this was like a thing that people actually believed in the fucking late 60s, 70s.
But he's made appearances.
No, and now they've talked about it, so it's not true.
Well, there's a similar theory with Avril Lavigne, right?
Right.
But I think she's somewhat disappeared. Like, she's not really in the public eye anymore.
Right, and they think she's dead.
But I don't understand why. I guess the only incentive to do that I can like think of that I don't even know if it makes sense. But let's say with Avril Lavigne, she's making some money on her songs.
Yeah.
She dies, and now the family's not going to get that money.
Right.
Maybe they fake her not dying to keep getting the money.
Yeah, or also
I don't know
I don't know how much money she's making at shows and concerts, but that could just be money.
Yeah.
Money. A lot of people are losing money if she's dead.
Yeah, you could be like, oh, this bitch looks like her. She'll go on tour.
But do you think that's ever actually happened, where they've found like an imposter, like someone who actually looks like him? That's probably never real, right?
Yeah, I would say those theories aren't real.
Because you would have to get someone who looks like him and someone willing to do it.
Yeah.
And people, I mean, nowadays it would never work, I think.
No.
Because there's too many things. Cameras. But back then it might have been
Well, this is kind of a bonus. This is a bonus one I have off the top of my head that you made me think of that I saw online when I was searching. That the government floods conspiracy theory like forums and stuff with crazy ones to make the real ones discredited. That might be one of those. Because that's, I mean, there's just no way he died and then there's a fake guy.
Yeah.
There's no way. Although if you look like Paul McCartney and someone's like, hey, you want to be Paul McCartney? You're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, no, like here's a gazillion dollars.
I'm going to be the man for a little bit?
Right, forever.
All right. You know what? That was okay.
Yeah, it's not. I don't believe it. I just thought it was it's one of those things where it's like those conspiracy theories are so crazy that when there's real stuff.
Yeah.
I guess that's like the flooding.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, I don't know.
I like it. All right.
7-Eleven was a part-time job.
7-Eleven?
You know they say 9/11 was an inside job?
7-Eleven was a part-time job?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I saw it on YouTube.
Shout out. Okay, mine is actually my last one's about 9/11.
Love it.
I think it's very possible that they shot down Flight 93 on September 11th. So basically, from what I understand on the minimal research I did on Reddit, the two planes like hit the towers, and then there was like a third or fourth plane that one was like headed towards the Pentagon, right?
Yeah.
And apparently the story is that some brave people stopped that.
There's a movie.
There's a movie about it.
United 93.
I think that is a cover story. I think they shot down the plane.
With a gun?
Because let's say you're the U.S. government. Two planes have just hit the towers. There's a terrorist attack. Now there's a third plane that apparently they cannot get in contact with because the terrorists are in the cockpit.
Right.
And you're like, and you kind of see, it's not staying on its path.
Right.
You got to shoot that thing down.
Yeah.
You don't know where that's going.
Right. You're right.
And apparently this is the most compelling thing out of the 9/11 conspiracy because there is some footage of something that kind of looks like a rocket. There's also very limited footage of the crash, which is weird. There's cameras everywhere. There's really not footage of the crash of the Flight 93.
But wasn't that in the middle of buttfuck nowhere? No.
Yeah, but still, it's a little weird. And the third thing
but
that I saw hold on, let me just finish one quick, is the blast zone where the plane like went down. Apparently, the brave people grabbed the plane and they took it down. It's like the plane like exploded. Like people say like, oh, the debris. It was like there were parts of the plane that were like so far away.
Right.
I have a Reddit comment. Let me just read the Reddit comment.
Can't wait.
Apparently, during the day, there was a lot of they sent out some fighter jets. There was someone that said like, oh, on 9/11 they saw a bunch of fighter jets go in the air.
Yeah.
Which it could just be okay, terrorist attack, get those jets in the air. You never know. This is the quote that I read on Reddit, which is reliable. It's horrible to think we would do this, but it does make sense. Two planes have hit the tower, one on the Pentagon, and now you got a plane that is not responding to any callbacks.
Yep.
What do you do? Again, it's horrible, but in my opinion, that plane has got to come down. If all this is true, the skeptic in me is surprised the length at which the government has gone with the stories of the cell phone calls, the heroics, the movies and such. But I don't think the government like then made the movie, but I think like the government floats the story out there, and then Hollywood's like, let's make that movie.
Yeah, of course. I also think though, this is one of those things where I'm like, if the government shot it down,
good.
Who cares? Because I mean, I think this is like
the who cares is maybe that plane wasn't gonna go down. My family's on that plane.
Right. Okay, that's fair.
What if Mark Wahlberg was on that plane? Then they shoot it. Mark Wahlberg's gonna save the day.
He would have fucking just come out of the explosion and landed.
Remember when he said that?
Yeah, idiot.
So funny.
I wonder if that's taken out of context.
No, he legit said like, if I were on that plane, it wouldn't have went down. Basically being like, hey, everyone on that plane that went down, pussies.
Fucking pussies.
All right, I think that was a good one.
I think that one seems like it's logical.
Plausible. Yeah. I don't know if it was an inside job, but they definitely shot that plane down.
Someone did it.
All right, you're next.
This one is more just something that I deal with in my day-to-day life. I follow the blood type diet.
Okay.
And everyone hates it. Everyone gets so mad.
Okay.
And it's worked great for me.
To explain the blood type diet,
basically, I don't know who came up with it, but you test your blood type and then you eat, exercise, lifestyle based on what works best for your blood type.
Okay.
So like I'm A blood, no red meat, avocados are good for me. Oranges are bad. It's like random shit.
Yeah.
And my homeopathic doctor, shout out. He's like, try it. I tried it for 2 months. I felt so much better.
Yeah.
This was 5 years ago. I never went back. But people lose their mind when
you bring it up.
Yeah, when I try and tell them like, oh, this is what I do. They're like, that's not real. Like, why would they think it's like so dumb?
My only pushback is, I bet a lot of those diets are just like healthy lifestyles.
And that agreed.
Yeah, where the doctor's like, oh, you're type O or whatever, don't eat bread and fucking red meat, so you're just eating like chicken, like vegetables and stuff like that, and then you're feeling amazing. You're like, oh, this blood type diet's working. It's like, well, no, but maybe you're just eating an insane amount of bread.
True, and but there's like weird things. Like one of my brother's ex-girlfriend, she was like B blood or whatever, and which avocados are bad, and she had acne.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, get rid of the avocado. That's the thing, is like people think avocados are healthy, and she got rid of her acne.
Her acne went away.
And so that's the thing I would say with the blood type thing is like, sometimes you think you're eating this healthy meal, but it might not be.
Yeah.
But you could also just do like elimination diet.
Yeah, I bet people are also allergic to certain things, like mildly allergic to like even healthy foods, but they don't like realize it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And then they cut them out.
So the point is, let me live my life.
People
get weird about diet in general.
So what is yours? You can't eat oranges?
I avoid oranges, bananas. I don't eat gluten. Don't eat dairy. Don't eat red meat.
I saw you ate a hamburger the other day. That's gluten and red meat.
And people do this to me all the time, where I'm like, this is my diet, and then they see me. I do 80-20. 80% of the time I follow this.
Okay.
Probably maybe 15% of the time I eat bad. No, it's 20%. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gluten free, and they're like, I saw you eat gluten, and you're like, yeah, I'm human, and I like bread.
Yeah. I've been doing the kind of like 80% of the time I'm not eating carbs.
Yeah.
And then 20, I'll occasionally have something like once or twice a week.
Yeah, that's how to do it.
I like that.
I think it's good. I think, because otherwise, you're going to say no cake for the rest of your life?
Oh, I can't have any cake.
I love cake.
Or
Ice
hamburgers?
Cream? Yeah, and here's the thing. I ate that hamburger in front of you. I haven't stopped thinking about it. We talked about it last week. I was going to go yesterday.
So good. Did you go yesterday?
No, I went to that Maya place, Naya, that you told me about.
So good, right?
So good. It's amazing. Anyway, so the theory is that's not really a conspiracy.
Yeah, I would say that maybe falls under conspiracy theory.
Yeah, maybe. Where people is like, that doesn't work.
Yeah. All right, do we have anything more?
Did you do 3?
I did 3. I did them Beyonce, I Love New York, and 9/11.
There's this is another one for me. I think every woman in New York is in cahoots, and they don't want to have sex with me.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
Meeting.
I've also heard of this. Not from you.
Yeah, they had a meeting, and they're like, this guy banned.
We all want to. Ladies, let's just say we're all thinking, we all want to have sex with this man. Let's not do it.
Yeah. 5.5 inches, not for you.
Not for you.
Give it to someone else.
One more conspiracy theory. I don't think black guys got that big of penises.
Can I tell you a story?
No, they do. That's a fact. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's a well-known fact.
We just hear a knock on the door as a black guy, and he's like, we are so sorry.
We didn't mean that.
My mom bought us a book when I was going through puberty. It's called What's Happening to My Body.
Okay. Shout out, Mom.
Yeah, and my brothers and I just looked at the photo. We're like, fucking, I was 10. And there was uncircumcised penis, and we're like, that's hilarious. And we never read it.
Yeah.
And anyway, that book, I remember it said, on average, black man's penises, it wrote this in the book, it's 0.7% bigger.
Oh my gosh.
No, 0.7.
Does the book need to tell you that?
Well, that's what we're joking, the fucking guy's, the author's wife cheated on him with the black guy.
Did you ever try to stand up?
Yeah, I have a joke about it.
Oh, it's very funny.
I had one where it's I read the book, I was
So the author's a black guy?
No, I'm saying the author's wife cheated on him with the black guy, so he's like, right, black men know their penises aren't that much bigger.
Oh, that's funny.
But no, the joke was I was getting unexpected erections. It was when I first started comedy. Unexpected erections, and I didn't have the internet to figure out what to do, so I looked in the book, and the guy's advice was just wear baggy clothes. Okay. And I was like, well, what he didn't tell you is how to explain to all your friends why you started dressing like Flavor Flav. Yeah. Which kind of got laughed. Oh, and this was I always thought this was funny. I said I had the book, and didn't have the internet, so how I would masturbate is on the left I would have a Victoria's Secret
Yeah,
magazine open.
Okay.
On the right I would have
The
that book open with a diagram of a vagina.
Yeah, I remember you did
Yeah,
this.
and
I remember at a mic I saw you do this act out.
Yeah, and I was like filling in the blanks. I'd be like, "You don't think I know what's in those panties? It's a labia majora in those panties." But it's one of those that like kind of works. But when you bomb with that joke, because I'm like literally doing the masturbation motion, it's the hard bomb, dude.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you do it at a mic, and I don't think it was a good mic.
No.
And you were like, guys, that took so much courage to do that act out. Are you kidding me?
Sometimes I'm sure you do have these, but I have like jokes that I only do when I bomb, and I'm like, why? Like I have like the breaking up the wedding bit,
Yeah.
where it's like a fantasy where I break up my ex-girlfriend's wedding, and I never do that when I'm doing well. I only do it when I'm bombing.
Well, because you're like, well, I'm bombing already. Might as well.
Yeah, but I'm like, but then you never get positive feedback on that joke. It's just a weird thing to do that I do.
I did that last Monday. I was not doing the checks got dropped to me, and then I was having a hard time getting the crowd back. So I was like, well, I might as well try this new joke.
Yeah.
And then it bombed, and I was like, well, I'm already bombing. Might as well try this one.
Yeah, right. That's true.
You know,
Sometimes you might get real feedback.
All right, that's a fucking hot hour. 1 hour, 1 minute. Follow me on Instagram. I love all of you. Shout out Casey Mala. You're a legend. This has been Outstanding Individuals.
I'm Cody Lewis. Shout out to I want to thank my mom and my dad and my brothers and my sister, my grandmother. That girl gave me a blowjob for the first time. The girl who let me come on her tits. The girl. Wait, let me keep going.
Get one more.
The girl who put the finger in my ass at one time, and I was like, "Do it again." She's like, "I'll be back for more, you little bitch."
Okay, that is yeah, we'll cut that. All right. Anything else?
And then the one girl who was like, "Mr. Horny."
Okay, that I will definitely cut. All right, bye.
Bye.